Hello, dear friend. Welcome to another video here on my YouTube channel. Today, I want to dive into short chain fatty acids. So I know these have been discussed a lot recently in the last few years because of the gut microbiome stuff. So if you're interested to learn more about short chain fatty acids, stay tuned. This video is for you. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you again for joining me. If you like videos like this, please click like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the bell if you want to get notifications sent to you whenever I post a new video. Before we begin, as always, we have 40% off any or all of our raw vegan recipe ebooks. Get the wrap book, make some delicious wraps, take them to work, take them to school, take them camping or hiking, or just eat them because they're so mega delicious. Make some burgers, maybe some raw tacos. If you're looking for the hard shell taco recipe, that's in the taco book. There's appetizers, there's soups and stews and curries for the cozy months coming up, and more. There's salads and smoothies and ice cream. There's over 700 recipes across all 21 of our ebooks, and you get 40% off anything that you buy off our website with code RAWFOOD40 at checkout. So I hope you enjoy and take up the offer if you are interested in adding more raw foods to your life. So let's chat about short chain fatty acids, which are created by the microbiome, your probiotics in your gut, when they ferment and digest fiber. So again, you're adding more raw food to your life, you're going to be growing your microbiome, and you're going to be producing more short chain fatty acids. Well, you're not producing them, your bacteria is actually producing them, and they are of great benefit to you. So there's three, the short chain fatty acids that are studied is butyrate, propionate, and acetate. So these three short chain fatty acids are incredibly beneficial to our bodies. They are also called postbiotics. So you've got the three terms. You've got prebiotic, you've got probiotic, and you've got postbiotic. The prebiotics are the food for the probiotics, and the probiotics digest the prebiotics and turn them into postbiotics. These are all the amazing things that we get to benefit from those good bacteria. So they make the propionate and the acetate and the butyrate. They convert different things into other things that we need, and they are amazing and necessary for healthy gut. And we make them from consuming fiber. Fiber is found in plants. There is no fiber in animal products. So if you want to grow your microbiome, you got to feed them fiber. That's what they eat. So feeding our gut is so important, whole fiber, so that the bacteria are eating mostly soluble fiber, but I believe personally that the insoluble fiber does play a role in the growth of the bacteria as well. So providing them so much more is really important. And also there are polyphenols in the insoluble fiber that are only released when it's digested by the bacteria. So if you want to have more polyphenols, eat more whole fiber so the bacteria can start to digest that whole fiber as well. So short chain fatty acids, what really are they? Well, the short of it is they are short chain fatty acids, just as their name infers, that are acids. And I know people can be scared of the acid alkaline thing, but this has nothing to do with that. The acids that the bacteria produce are actually good for the gut. They're like a good acid. And if you think like acids aren't all bad, amino acids are the building blocks of protein. So we need amino acids. Essential fatty acids are acids, and we need them to have healthy cell structure, healthy hormones, healthy brain function, heart function. These are essential acids as well. So the short chain fatty acids are produced by the bacteria, and these acids actually create an environment unfriendly to the undesirables. The probiotics, the good bacteria, the beneficial bacteria, thrive in a more acidic environment. They love it. That's why, for example, one of the popular ones is acidophilus. They love acids. Or if you think about like the sauerkraut, for example, it's got like an acidity to it. They thrive in that acidic environment. So when they eat the fiber, they produce these short chain fatty acids, which make the environment more friendly to the good bacteria. So you can actually grow more. The more fiber you eat, the more you grow, the more probiotics exist, and the less of the undesirables exist. The undesirables either die off or they move out because they don't want to be there anymore, because the environment is changing to be favorable to the probiotics. So the short chain fatty acids are awesome and we need more of them, but we have to feed our bacteria in order to make them. One of the things that short chain fatty acids are really good for the body is that, number one, they are also used as an energy source for the body. But more so is that they are used as an energy source for your colon cells. And your colon cells are responsible for holding up the integrity of the gut. If you have something like leaky gut or IBS or any digestive issues where the gut lining is compromised in any way, fueling those colon cells with short chain fatty acids that are produced by the bacteria who eat the fiber. So it all boils down to the fiber. When we're eating more fiber, we can produce the short chain fatty acids, and the short chain fatty acids fuel our colon cells, and the colon cells can then heal the gut. They keep that gut lining integrity. They are also anti-inflammatory. So those who may have an inflamed gut from a diet that is causing inflammation, when they switch over and they start eating more fiber-rich foods that feed the bacteria that produce the short-chain fatty acids, these short-chain fatty acids are anti-inflammatory. So it can really bring down the inflammation of the gut in general, causing easier digestion. Short-chain fatty acids are also involved in enhancing T cell production or your immune system. So not only are they making more T cells, but also the gut microbiome itself in a healthier state boosts the immune system. So there's so many things that come into play. It's a big, beautiful orchestra going on in the gut. And the short chain fatty acids are a main player, a main instrument, so to speak, in the beauty of the gut. So having more of those can help, number one, lower inflammation, but also increase your immunity. Short chain fatty acids, specifically butyrate, has been also shown with keeping blood sugar levels regulated and insulin sensitive. So we want sensitive insulin, we don't want resistant insulin, and butyrate seems to have a role in that as well. And we can't forget colon cancer. That's a big one that has been shown that consuming fiber, which feeds the bacteria, which produces short chain fatty acids, specifically, again, butyrate, has been shown to lower colon cancer risks. So colon cancer is something that I am a little bit more intimately affected by, so to speak, because my mother had colon cancer and my uncle, her brother, died with complications of Crohn's disease. So I have a little sensitivity to the gut, and I really want to make sure that I take the best care possible of my gut so that my chances are greatly reduced for colon cancer. And because butyrate is the one that's studied most in colon cancer and the one that makes the most effect, I'm very focused on feeding the bacteria, specifically Roseburia is one of the big ones that produces butyrate, and psyllium, like we discussed in the last video, is a good food for Roseburia. There's lots of other foods too, but I've been really adding more psyllium to my days because I know that that is a specific food for Roseburia, which produce a lot more butyrate. Inulin is another food that helps bacteria produce more butyrate, and inulin can be found in many different foods that I used to not eat a lot of. When I first went raw, I was not eating certain foods. I was eating a lot more domestic foods and fruits and things because I didn't have a lot available to me, which is totally fine. If you don't have a wide variety available to you, at least you're trying, and that's the best that you can do. But I didn't eat certain things, not because I didn't want to, mostly because I didn't know. and because I didn't have them available necessarily. So some inulin-rich foods that I did have available, that I did eat a lot of, was onion and garlic. And we're gonna be doing a video next week all about inulin and the amazing stuff that inulin has to offer us. But suffice to say, garlic and onion are great sources of inulin. So are the chicory family, so chicory root and endive, frisee, radicchio, those kinds of things are really good. Dandelion greens are great, as are sunchokes, which is one of my new favorite foods as well. But other foods that can help produce more butyrate involve things like resistant starch that you can get from green bananas. And yes, you can eat green bananas. I know there's so many people out there, and I actually used to believe this too, that you have to only eat ripe bananas. You can never eat green bananas. Well, what we have learned is actually the resistant starch in green bananas is actually very, very gut friendly. And the reason why people have issues with green bananas is not because they're not ripe, but because their gut is weak to the resistant starch. So starting slow, obviously you're gonna only wanna have a little bit of green banana at a time to grow the bacteria that like the green bananas. If this was something you wanted to do, that resistant starch is a great raw way, or raw sweet potato. And we do put raw sweet potato in some of the wrap recipes, so it's a great way to get raw sweet potato without having to eat it raw, because sometimes it's not as enjoyable. Unless you spiralize it, you could totally do that and add it to a salad. But adding it to the wraps, so good. So resistant starch is another great way to produce butyrate. Pectin from apples, citrus, and berries are also really great foods to produce more butyrate, and beta-glucans from mushrooms. Mushrooms have beta-glucans that can help your bacteria to produce more butyrate. And obviously psyllium, which feeds the Rosebarria, which is known to produce a lot of butyrate. So that's a great one too. And obviously, all fruits and vegetables are going to have some kind of fiber that some kind of species of bacteria is going to enjoy and produce the short chain fatty acids, the butyrate, the propionate, and the acetate that are so beneficial for us. So asparagus and celery and fruits of all kinds, vegetables of all kinds, greens of all kinds, sprouts, legumes like lentils, sprouted, are so great on a raw diet. So including a wide variety of foods is obviously the best. They have studied that the people who eat 30 or more different varieties of plants every week have the strongest gut microbiomes. And the more variety you add, the stronger your gut can become. So variety is really an amazing thing if you're looking to produce more short chain fatty acids. Now there are 4 kind of main types of bacteria that produce butyrate. They're a little hard to pronounce. Well, Rosebarria is pretty easy, but Clostridium, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing these right, but Eubacterium, and the hardest one to pronounce, I hope I say it right, Faecalibacterium prosnitzi. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, like I said, but those are the 4 main ones that produce butyrate. So feeding those specific bacteria, the foods that we just discussed, is really going to help increase your butyrate in your colon. And on a side note, you can actually test for your butyrate levels, your propionate and your acetate, if you take a microbiome test, like what we do with Ombre Lab. OmbreLab.com, we take the test with Ombre Lab, and then once we get the data back from Ombre Lab, we download the FASTQ files and we upload them to another website called biomesite.com. And there's a much better accurate kind of analysis of your gut, and they do have a section called short chain fatty acids where they can tell you how much of those 3 that you're making. So it's a great way to learn more and to challenge yourself to add more of those foods and then test again and see how it changes. It's pretty fun. We've been enjoying it. So short chain fatty acids are also involved in the cardiovascular system. They have been said to lower blood pressure, lower cholesterol, and they've also been shown to improve mental health. Now, it's not quite sure how that is happening, if it's because the gut is just getting stronger and the gut-brain axis is just better overall when you change your diet, when you grow your gut, that kind of thing, because serotonin is actually the happy hormone. So some people have thought that the serotonin made in the gut is actually affecting the mood, but 90% of the serotonin that is produced in the gut and is not crossing the blood-brain barrier. So that 90% of serotonin that is made in the gut is actually used for gut motility, signaling the nervous system in there, and just speaking with itself, I guess. So that serotonin is actually making the gut work. It's not crossing the blood-brain barrier and making us happy. But because the gut is happy, that kind of in turn makes us feel better in general. So again, there's no like solid science that I've found yet, which I hope they do more of this research as to why a healthier gut makes a healthier mood, but I believe they are connected definitely, even though the serotonin that is mostly made is still in the gut. It's actually used for gut purposes. And finally, short chain fatty acids are awesome because they improve the gut environment, which improves absorption. So if people are having issues absorbing things, like I know a lot of people have told me that we can't absorb things from vegetables, but when you grow the gut and you create this environment, you can actually absorb a lot more from the fruits and vegetables, which is keeping us healthy. So it's really important to grow the gut so that you can absorb more from the food. And on the absorption note, always remember it's important to chew your food. That's the first step in digestion, is to chew your food thoroughly so that the bacteria can digest it, you can digest it, and you can absorb more from your food when you chew better as well. So thank you for sticking around for this video. I hope you really enjoyed it. And if you did, please click like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the bell if you want to get notifications whenever we post a new video. And if you want to feed your bacteria more fiber-rich foods, grab some of our ebooks because they're loaded with fiber and fiber variety. Make those wraps. The wraps are super gut friendly with the psyllium, the onion, the inulin, the sweet potato resistant starch. Like, the wraps are actually super gut foods in my opinion. So grab the hand salads ebook and make yourself some delicious wraps. Take them to school, take them to work, take them hiking, take them on road trips, and enjoy more different varieties. You can also make burgers and tacos, and we've got lots of recipes for salads and smoothies and ice cream, all kinds of good stuff. So go check them out and use code RAWFOOD40 at checkout, and you'll get 40% off anything that you have in your cart that is ebook or ebook collection. So go grab those. And until the next video, I love you all so much. I hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll see you next week. We're going to be talking about inulin. I love you all, and fruit on.